Hello crafty friends, I'm Lin from Singapore. You may know me as Yueling on the Altenew Fan Group. So thank you to Altenew for this weekend takeover, fan takeover. So I'm actually a big fan of Altenew products. So when Jelly first asked me whether am I interested to do the weekend takeover, I was very nervous and as you can see I'm still nervous. So it's my first time. So I decided to do this video, and I was trying to brainstorm ideas of what our weekend theme will be. So I thought of the orchids because if you may not have heard of Singapore, our national flower is the orchids, specifically the Vanda Miss Joaquim. So it's actually the world's first Vanda hybrid. And to prepare for this orchid theme, we actually me and my husband and my family, we took a trip to the National Orchid Garden at the Botanic Gardens in Singapore. So there are over 1,005 species of orchids and hybrids too. So to bring you closer to the orchids, we decided to show you a video. And if you want to see other parts of the garden, you can let me know too. So, but for the purpose of this weekend, we'll show you the VIP Orchid Garden. Okay, let's take a look. Hey crafty friends, you are back from the video. So did you enjoy the video of the VIP Orchid Garden where I have took many photos and videos? So if you want, you can let me know, give me a DM, I can share some photos with you. Also, in line with this video and with the orchid theme, we'll be doing a project with the Altenew Craft-a-Flower Orchids layering die set. So if you have it, you can get it ready, then we'll start our project. Today we'll use the Altenew Craft-a-Flower, the Orchids layering die set. It was actually my first time using this, but it's quite fun. There are actually 6 orchids here and 3 branches, so there are a lot of small little parts. So I had to split them into the different orchids and the branches. So today we will do a bit of blending of the white cardstock of our orchids. Let's get started. So the first orchid is this first one. So to match them, so what I do when I blend is I put all the pieces together. So this actually makes up the first orchid, if you can see here. Let's do the second one. 2, 3. This has 5 pieces. And this one. 2. Then let's put the third one. 2, 3, 4, pink one. Okay, this is the last one. So today I will use the purple series. So use the soft lilac and here. Okay, I like the Altenew brushes. So we'll use a bit of soft lilac first. Blend the centers. Later I'll add more color to the second piece. So similarly, like here, the first piece I will put more color on the first piece too. Oh, sorry. It's actually the first one with more color. The second one is lighter. Okay, so let's add a bit of lavender to the first piece. So I'll use another color for this piece. Maybe I will use the Pinkalicious. Oh, I missed one. Let's go back to do that. Okay, so later when we combine them, we'll do the combining later. I'll finish up the other, something like that. So later we'll do the combining. Then because we still have 3 other flowers to do. We have our 6 flowers. So let's do the combining. So if you see, we have the first flower, the second, third, and the fourth. So you see the first flower. Yeah. So let's stick together. The first flower, this. Oh, last one. This is such a small piece. So this piece will be on the top of the knotty looking thing. I don't know what they call that. Oh. Okay, now. Okay, so change the paper. Does it help? I think it was a bit too white just now. So let's do the second flower. This, and this. So these 5 pieces make up the second flower. So you see the shape. Let's add a bit of glue here. Okay. I think it's like that. I was trying also. It's like that. Okay. I may be wrong, but let's try it out. So this piece is so small. It's on the top of this. Yeah. Okay. And this little piece. Take a look. Does it look like this flower? If I'm not wrong, this looks like this flower. So it looks quite alike, I guess. So this is the second one. So let's do the third one. Like that. Like that. Like that. So this is the third one. Let's do the third one. Do you like working with small beads like this? It's quite challenging sometimes. So cute. Okay, I think it's like this. So we have our third orchid. And let's do the fourth one. This looks like a lung. Okay, this, and this piece. Okay, this is our fourth orchid. That looks pretty. Okay, now we have 2 more pieces. I think it's like that. And this last piece will be here. One, two, three, 4, 5. Oh, fifth one. This one. Okay, things like this. So there are 3 branches here. This set. Let's do the blending of the brushes. So it looks like it's light to dark, dark to light. So do something similar here. So I decided to use Firefly and Grassfield here. I'll use the bigger brush for Firefly and the Grassfield, the smaller brush. So let's do Firefly first. I decided to use this because use the one in the recommended example, as it uses 5 of the orchids. The other 3 seem to only be able to use lesser branches, but if you're using it for other projects, I think it should be quite useful too. Like you can have 2 branches sticking out. So I will use this one, which is this one. So this one, I'll stick it here. A bit of glue here. Later I'll add the glue at the back. So for now, let's just stick it down to that piece. So the second one is this one with this little knot shape. And this one is this. This branch. This one. And this last branch. So this is how our 5 orchid branch will look like. Then let's find out how we shall use this in our project. Hello! We are going to make a project with our orchids. So hope you all have a set of orchids done. It can be any set that you have created. So we'll be showing what project we can do with this set of orchids. So I had this idea after watching one of the YouTube crafters, and if you are interested, you can DM me. I can let you know which is her account. So in her account, she showed about this money envelope. So in our Asian culture, on like happy occasions, we tend to give a red envelope. So which is something like this, and then we will insert cash for the event. And then so with Mother's Day coming up, I decided to incorporate this orchid into a money envelope, but I won't be using the color red, so I chose another color to match the orchids. So let me show you how to make this money envelope. To make the money envelope, I chose a teal color cardstock. So we will need a cardstock that is 8 3/4 by 8. So this is 8 3/4 and this is 8. So on the 8 3/4 side, 8 3/4, we will score at 2.5 and 6.5. And on the 8-inch side, 8-inch, we will score at 1/2 inch on both ends. Because it's 8-inch, so I use 7.5 here. So you can choose which length you want as the top and the bottom, but I prefer the longer length at the bottom. So I'll be using that as the base, just like our envelope here earlier. You can see this is the shorter, this is the longer. So we won't be needing this. Let's take this out. And we will have to cut away the parts that are not in the flap. So I will be cutting away this section and this section. So make a little cut here. You see? Then we will cut down along the score line, cut away the score line. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. So you can do it freestyle, but if not, you can align the other end and then do the same cut here, and then cut away this length again. Okay, now you can do some scoring. So you can fold along this score line. Fold in the two sides. And this last fold here. So you can test, should look something like that. If there are parts that you did not cut as well like me, you can do some trimming. So we will be adding the adhesive at these two ends of the money envelope. So just quickly add it here. Maybe I'll do a bit of trimming here, different cut as well. Okay, then you can glue this side up. You can glue it later, but I prefer to glue it now. this forms our pocket for the money. So we will do next to make this flap looks a bit prettier. I thought of using a simple embossing flap. So I'm thinking to do a bit of blending on this white because we don't really like it to be too white. Then it will match the orchids that we did. So I'll use a bit of the soft lilac and do a simple blending. Also, okay, let's do a bit of just a soft blend so it doesn't look so whitish. There will be a little purplish tinge to this. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it's not so white. Take a look. There's some slight purple. You can choose any embossing folder you like here. So this flap has to be 6 3/4 by 2 inch. Then to make the envelope look a bit prettier, let's round the corners. So I will use the 7. You can choose any one you want. That, and then we will round this piece too. So maybe this way. So I will round this corner 7 too. Okay, like this. So you can add the adhesive later because I want to work on the design on the cover. So I will add the adhesive to this flap later. Remind me. Okay, so on the flap, I'm thinking to use our orchids that we did previously, like this. Looks so pretty. Then I recently got the magnolia set, which has these greetings. So I was choosing between thank you mom and dear mom or love you lots. So because of the remaining space, I am thinking to put the orchids on the right and the lots of love here and dear mom on the top left. So you can choose any sentiment you like, but this would be what I'm thinking is the cover of our money envelope. Okay, so let's do a lot of sticking here. You can work on your envelope, or you can fast forward this sticking part. Let's add glue. Should be quite fun. So let's stick the orchid down. Okay. Maybe I will try to layer the sentiment a little. You can use foam squares behind, but I find that this is quite useful rather than adding foam dots. It's quite small. Okay, so it'll be like this. So stick it down. Here, looks quite pretty here, and here more. Take a look. Does it look pretty? We can add some embellishments later. Now let's not forget our flap, the back of the envelope. Laying it on the flap. Does it look nice? If you want, if you have extra orchid, you can even add the extra orchid here. If you really want, you can add one more here. Do you like that? Let's add it. So pretty. Oh, that's nice. Let's take a look. How do you feel about our orchid money envelope? Dear Mom, lots of love. You can write a message here if you want. You can put the cash inside, and we can add some little embellishments. Some shiny stuff. Mom loves shiny stuff. Sneak peek into how I keep my little dots. I like this. Maybe something like that. Okay, does that look nice? Ready? We are done with our project. If you want, you can add a layer behind this, but I found the paper is too pretty. So this is what we have created with our orchids layering die set. Now if you would like, you can join our challenge, orchid challenge for this weekend, and hope you can win a $15 gift card. Thank you.